These are my 3 most used top rope anchors for multiple people using the anchor without us inspecting it or checking on it. Top rope anchor. The first one, I generally use vertical scenario where there's not too many variables, pretty much straight up and down. I'm gonna use a 120 sling with 2 non-lockers, and then I'm going to tie a clove hitch into here as the master point. Because this is going to be used for a while without being inspected, I'm also going to put a second carabiner in there. And these are 2 locking carabiners for my master point. Boom, lock as I place the rope in here. Happy days. The benefit of the clove hitch anchor, this is gonna get a lot of weight on it. It's probably gonna get tugged around a lot. At the end of the day, when I take out these carabiners, I don't have to worry about untying it. Really tough to untie knot. Because it's a hitch, it just comes out. So that's a clove hitch anchor. That's kind of my go-to. That's number 1. Number 2 is gonna be the same setup. I'm using 2 non-lockers at the top. Grab a bite, that's what you call this, and then I'm going to wrap it around and back down through. Once again, this is good for a directional climb. We're staying one direction, so that's loading both points of the anchor equally. The pros of this knot compared to the clove hitch, you need to be able to inspect it, and it's easy to tie it in the wrong way. Figure 8 on a bite, simple to set up, simple to inspect. That's why we like it. Third one, I'm gonna use this cordlet. It's 5.5 meters of cordlet that is not attached. I always have this on my harness in case I need to extend the anchor. So say there's an edge right here, a sharp edge before my climb. The anchors that I just showed you won't extend across that edge, which means the rope will be constantly running along that edge. So I might use this in a scenario where the anchor is a little far back from a sharper edge of a rock or a gritty rock. So let's check it out. I'm gonna feed it through the wrap ring here. If this is gritty or rusty or there is no ring, then I would just use a carabiner to attach it. Regardless, where I'm gonna connect the rope by tying an overhand. Now when I'm tying an overhand to connect the rope, what I personally look for is that the rope is snug, very nicely dressed knot, because we don't want this rolling easily. I look for around 30 centimeters of tail. Use the carabiner that came on for the other one. So now that I have attached to 2 points, I'm gonna offset the knot. Just don't like the knot being right on the carabiner, or in this case, the wrap ring. And then I'm gonna tie a figure 8 on a bite once again. And then same thing, I'm just using 2 pear-shaped beaners. That's my master point. So we have redundancy. You can think about this system yourself. Everything can be compromised. If I cut this, it's still good. Cut this, it's still good. 1 carabiner flies open, we're all good. So that's my 3rd anchor. There's 3 of my most common top rope anchors that I use. Just to be clear, this is for top rope anchors where they're gonna be set up for a long time. I'm not inspecting them, and probably multiple people are gonna go on them throughout a few hours. Any anchor technique or tactic is really contextual, so you really have to adapt whatever you're doing to each scenario. These are just simply 3 ideas of what I do in a certain situation. I'm gonna post this video on YouTube as well if you wanna rewatch it or pause it. The link is in my bio. Any feedback is welcome. I don't know everything. This is just what I do.